Shalom, shalom, and welcome to another episode of Vibing with the Real 12 Tribes. My brother Mike.
I'm Sister Michonne.
And today, we're going to talk about Navigate Key number 8.
This is for us ladies.
Number 8.
Which is what?
Number 8?
For those who don't know.
Well, number 8 is we support and protect the Yahshua sisterhood. All right, Women of Yah can preach and teach and lead men.
That's
Women
right.
are not to be seduced into harems to please the lust of men with Bibles. We respect our ladies.
That's
All
right.
And I know because I'm in a house full of ladies. My wife, my daughter, and my mother-in-law.
That's right. Yep.
So I get a lot of practice treating ladies with know, respect and just being in that atmosphere and learning about, women, the opposite sex, and understanding, different. We're two different creatures.
Yes, we are.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of patience that goes along with dealing with, especially my daughter and her little emotions that she's still figuring her stuff out. She's only 1.5, but she's full of personality still.
Yes.
And then there's my wife. That's really gets me. I could say being with my wife, it's taught me again a lot of patience and a lot of coming out of myself and understanding her role as a mother, or maybe not role, but what would you, instead of saying role, what would you?
I don't know, I feel like relationships are different, right? Like back in the day, a woman's role was to, be there with her family, take care of her family, cook, clean, all that. In the 21st century, the time of day that we live in now, it's a lot different. I know for me and my husband, we work in a very much of an equal partnership. We both work, we both help provide for our family, we both do the things that need to do with the house. We both take care of our child, one coming on the way. But we both, my husband enjoys cooking and baking, and he's very nurturing in that way. And I work, he works. It's just kind of like more of a equal partnership. So it's like our roles is to fill in whatever our family needs at that time, right? So. If I worked all day, he worked all day, dinner needs to be done, but he getting off later and I get off before him, hey, I'm gonna make dinner. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like this partnership. So
you think so instead of saying role, it's more like a partnership, like it's not like my wife's a better cook than me, right? So of course, she can cook, but then, hey, I can help with doing other things. Yeah.
It's whatever works for you and your family. You know what I mean? And Yahweh doesn't have respect of persons, or he doesn't, look at us like, well, you're not doing it this way or that way. In the sense of when it comes to, as long as you're together in a unity and you're on one accord, and what's working for you works for you. It may not work for someone else, but it works for you and your family. You know what I mean? To me, that's what's the most important, is that cohesive and harmony within your family and partnership.
I love it. I love it. So we shouldn't place our women in a specific category. You can only do this, you can only do that. Our women are very strong. All women of every tongue, every nation, every kindred. Women are, especially moms out here. I've seen my wife firsthand, just how she deals with my daughter, our daughter, and how she, just the instincts, instincts that I don't have that she has. Yes. And I learn a lot by just watching her, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's beautiful. And Michonne is about to be another, child number 2 is coming.
Yes.
Not a new mom, but what would you call it? More like a
mom of 2 now instead of 1. So, you know, it's like been here, done that, but obviously it's a girl, so I have a boy, so it's just gonna be, it's different, you know what I mean? It's gonna be different. She's gonna be a different personality, maybe she might be a different newborn altogether, you know? So it's kind of I'm coming into it, you know, my husband and I are coming into it like, hey, this is gonna be, we've done it, but it's new because we don't know what she's gonna, you know, do, so.
Now I have a question for you, sis.
Yeah.
So you here actually, you know, me and my notes. Me and my notes, gotta have notes, right? So, as all of us, but as a woman, you have different relationships. First, your relationship with Father Yahweh.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your husband. Yeah. Your relationship with your son.
Yeah.
And then you have coworkers.
Yes.
That you work with as well.
Yeah.
So, tell me about being able to like juggle all the different relationships you have. And let's start with Father Yahweh. Like, what is like your relationship? Let's go down the line of those things.
Well, especially ever since getting back into Yasha University, I mean, me getting my time with my Creator is very important, you know, and so I always try to make time for him first, you know, whether it's that first hour I have in the morning, you know, especially when I was working, I would get up earlier, study, do my daily reading, my prayer, all of those things to really just put him first, and then as I get ready for work, continue maybe listening to, you know, a class, just something to just get the word in me, right? Just anything. And then, you know, and I do that in the morning because at night it's a lot harder, you know. I'm picking my son up from school, you know, coming home, make sure he's good, and dinner, and then, you know, my husband comes home and he's been, you know, going all day, so it's like spending that time with him and through dinner or whatever. So it's like I always make sure that I try to give that first piece in the morning to Father Yahweh, because it's like so important. And actually it's been something I expressed to you that now that I'm going to be a new mother and I have a newborn, it's like my routine is going to change a little bit, right? Because now I have a newborn plus a child, and, you know, it's very important that, you know, you put Yahweh first, you know, give him that time first. I mean, he wants to be above everything, right? And because that's the ultimate goal. That's the most important relationship in my life, my spiritual relationship with my Heavenly Father, my Creator, you know. So trying to figure out how to be creative and giving him that time first with my new responsibilities, you know, it's something that I've definitely been thinking about. You know,
we talked about it's like, you know, you like you said, you'll find different creative ways to be able to still get that time with Father Yahweh. You know, I think Father Yahweh, you know, he judges us by our hearts, and he knows that your heart is for him, and he knows that you want to please him. So there will be moments of time, and I know even through my busy schedule, I'll ask, you know, Father Yahweh, like, how do I do this? So, like, okay, quick example, like, I'm a personal trainer, so some days I can go right, nonstop, client after client after client after client, but then there'll be a pocket moment where, like, man, I still have 2 books left in my
right.
So how am I gonna done it? And then the client will cancel. So then I'll have an hour in between the next session. All right, great. I better use this time right now to, you know, get this done. And I think if we make that sort of effort, Yahweh looks at those things, and, you know, I mean, he 100%. Smiles on you, because he's like, wow, you really do care. This is important to you to spend time with me, and, you know, there's grace in that as well. And so that's beautiful. And now you being a mom, so your child, Father Yahweh first. Now let's talk about being a wife. Now, you know, what are some of like the challenges or some of the things that you kind of have to deal with on a daily being a wife?
You know, I feel like for me and my relationship, my husband and I are such a great partnership, even before we had children, that it comes very easy. You know what I mean? For us to adjust. He's super, super supportive in all of my endeavors and anything that, you know, I set out to do. You know what I mean? And he supported career changes through our relationship. He supports me, just in everything. So I feel like being a wife to him is, it's not, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's just natural. We just naturally flow together in a partnership. And, obviously, like, our communication has grown so much over the years. We've been together almost a decade. So it's just like, we just grow together in love and grace and growth, and now even with me being back in Yash University and just showing different things, he's very supportive of, like, we do things like, if it's class time, he knows that, and just like, it's just a great partnership. So I feel like being a wife is I love it. I've always wanted a family, and actually there was one time in my life where I didn't think I would be in a relationship and a marriage, just because of myself, like what I knew I was looking for. I wasn't just gonna settle for anything, you know what I mean? And so don't settle, ladies. Don't settle for just anything, you know what I mean? Like, be a powerful woman in Yah for yourself first. Get that in yourself first. Build yourself up, and I'm telling you, you will attract men of Yahweh into your life that will raise you and elevate you and not bring you down. So just...
And Yahweh always sends, especially us being his children, he will send people that he trusts.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Even if they're not in Yahweh, even if they don't, he will still send people to you that he trusts, that he knows is going to take care of you.
That's right.
Yep. So that's super important. And what about being a mother?
Whew. Being a mother, any mothers out there, it's the most beautiful, amazing thing, and it's the hardest thing out there. Like, you not only sacrifice, like, your body, right, of carrying your baby for 9 to 10 months, but you're also, when they get here, like, you're sleep deprived. You still got to provide for them. You got to be there emotionally for them, and sometimes you kind of lose yourself in that, of what you need, right? So it's just like, being a mom it's beautiful, and I love it, but it's tough and difficult at times, physically, emotionally, you know what I mean? And so I'm very hyper aware of, like, if my energy is just real low or down that day, and my son, he naturally just has a high energy, how I'm going to bring that, forward, and how I'm going to deal with him, and making sure that I'm not, putting any kind of anger, frustration, or anything like that on him because of how I'm feeling, you know what I mean? So just being hyper aware of all of that, that makes it a little, can make it a little difficult, or challenging, I should say, at times.
Yeah.
So.
And now, you being a mother, I guess, what we call it, times 2.
Yeah.
It's like, at least you have that experience of your first.
Yes.
My nephew, he's 4.
Yeah.
So you got 4 years under your belt.
Whew.
So, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but at least you have the experience now of the next baby. Okay, the sleep deprivation is going to come.
Yeah.
You do know, like, the different, okay, now I got to attend to this little human who can't do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
You have that experience, so that
it
always helps. Now, you're a woman of Yah. You give Yahweh his time. You're a great wife. You give your husband the time he needs, and you're an incredible mother. You give your son what he needs. Now let's talk about for yourself. How does Michonne fit in all of that? Where does Michonne fit?
That's a great question. It's something that I work on every day, because it's easy for me to lose myself in my different roles and not think about myself, because naturally I'm just a very giving person. I give my time, my energy, everything. So in honesty, it's still something that I work on every day, because I am in so many different roles, and sometimes I don't have enough energy. So I think I find that energy in my relationship with Yahweh. Like, I feel like that has given me something to do for myself. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for myself, for my soul, for my spirituality in this world of just, confusion and everything. So like, I think that's where I find myself the most, is spending that time with him. And I think that's why it's so important for me to do that, because it's not only for Yahweh, right? It's for me, it's for myself, it's for my soul, it's for the uplifting. He gives me the strength. There's been times I've had to work, do all these things, and there's been times I wanted to just take that extra hour or two to sleep instead of giving my first time. But when I thought about it, I'm like, there's no other time in the day I know that I'm going to be able to get this. And I've prayed and I've asked Yahweh for his strength through the day. And I tell you, like, he energizes me. You know what I mean? Because I'm giving him that first. So I think that is the most important thing that I've given myself, is that one-on-one time, that solid time with Yahweh.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, this gospel, this true gospel, like, we all know it has a pulse. Like, this gospel is alive. Just like you can feel your heartbeat. Really, you can feel your pulse right now. That's just how alive this word is. So, and it gives you the energy that you need to get up to date, because that I can attest to that, because same with me. It's like, okay, like, I want to use this hour to, like, literally decompress. And, like, if my daughter's asleep or she's taking a nap and my wife's at work, okay, good. Now I got, like, this me time. Yes. And I'm ready to go, like, hey, I'm gonna go play some basketball. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna play my game. I can make my PlayStation. But wait a minute, I still have at least 30 minutes, an hour left of, my time, that dedicated time that I must give. And it's like, all right, this is the time I have to use. So I understand what you're saying. It's energizing. Another thing is, I think, even you, sis, and all you other moms, sisters, wives, just women out there, period, I think it's very important to make sure you set time aside to do something that you love as well. Yeah. Like, you have passions, you have dreams before you got into a relationship, you got married, before you had children, you had a life. That's right. And you shouldn't stop living that life. If you can't, you may not be able to do everything you want to do, right? Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's over. It just may mean, like, hey, I'm going to have to take smaller steps. I can't take big strides like I was doing before. Right. Yeah. Take smaller steps. So find something that you're passionate about and then focus on those things. Like, I tell my wife all the time, like, babe, okay, look, on these particular days, I get home before 2 o'clock, I'm home. Right. I don't have anything else going on. So after work, if you want to go work out, you can go work out. Or my wife loves to dance. You want to go take a dance class. Yeah. Go do that. I'll take care of the baby. Like, at least one day out of the week, you can look forward to doing something for you. Yes. Right. It's important. If you have a village, like Marshawn and I are very blessed to have a village of people around us. Yes. If you hear right now, the kids are in the back playing. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but they're back there playing. Yep. But my brother-in-law, Cyrus, he's watching the kids right now, right? So Marshawn can come and do this, right? My dad and my mom. Yep. We have my wife's mom. We have aunts and uncles that are around. So if you have people that you can trust with your baby, then do that. Let them take care of the child just for at least if it's an hour. Yeah. An hour. Out of, out of 24 hours out of the day, just an hour. You got to find something for you. It's very important, So just keep that in mind as well. Yes. Whatever it is you're passionate about, focus on those things as well. Yes. If it's just reading, just read. Whatever it is, do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do that. Because even studying the word, it can be intense. Yes. It's intense. Like, we have to learn, because it's this word is alive. Yep. It's super hyper. Like, we got to focus. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. 100%. So it's important to do something you're passionate about as well. Yeah. So in our daily reading plan today, we're in Proverbs 31, and you can read the last. I know you had highlighted. You told me about the last 2 verses. Yes. In that,
and it's Proverbs 31, and we all know this is about a virtuous woman. And so I'm going to read the last 2 verses. Verse 30, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that fears Yahweh shall be praised. Hallelujah. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
I love that.
Me too.
I love that. When you read those 2 verses, what comes to mind for you?
Even Yahweh knows. Like, I mean, look at the verse 31. Give her the fruits of her hands. We do so much. You know, as you asked me earlier about the different roles that we play. That we are, you know what I mean? We women are resilient, incredible. Yahweh recognizes that, and that's why we thought it was so important, you know, that the world knows that, like, women aren't meant to be dumbed down and, you know, told you can't do this, that, and the other, or placed in a societal role of what we can and can't do. Like, Yahweh created us for a reason, right? Because we have a total different mindset, and with a man and a woman's partnership, you know, it's a powerful thing when you can bring it together under Yahweh, you know what I mean? And so women are just incredible. We are, you know, awesome, you know, and
just to have to carry, just to see, like, you're carrying another human, another human being inside of you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to do that. I'm being honest.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean?
It's like we're doing all that, and you're drawing a human, and you know, physically, you know, just exhausted, right? And then everything, you know what I mean? I mean, let's be real here, right? This is not an easy thing, but like Yahweh gave it to us for a reason because of how resilient, how we do what we have to do, right, women, and we're just incredible. I mean, Yahweh created us to be amazing. So,
and it says in the scripture, it says it is not good for Yahweh said to Adam, it is not good for a man to be alone.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? And when a man, and I'm talking to you fellas now, all right? You fellas out here, listen. When you have a good woman, or especially younger guys, if you're dating a woman, I'll give you an example. You know, when me and my wife, when Michonne, it was a mutual friend. Michonne's our mutual friend. Michonne introduced me to her friend, so which is not my wife, but when we got together, we broke up for a year, and then we got back together after the year, and when I got back with her, I was like, wow, this woman is pretty. This is an incredible woman. She come to me at the time. I was me and my roommate. I was living with another guy, and my roommate, and she would come over, and she'd clean, she'd cook. You know what I mean? And at that time, she was still she was finishing up her master's. She had a full-time job. I'm like, yo, this woman is incredible. And not just that, just how she treated me, and she respected me, and she accepted me in my goofiness and who I was.
Yeah.
And at that time, even before I had gotten my own place with my roommate, I was sleeping on Michonne's couch for 2.5 years because I was, you know, going through some things.
Yeah.
And Michonne and her husband allowed me to stay with them, and I slept on the couch for 2.5 years. And that's where my wife met me, and she saw something in me, and she stuck with me. Yeah. And even in that moment, I knew, wow, this woman is, you know what I mean?
Something special.
Something special.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when I was able to move out and do what I had to do, you know, she would come over and support me and just be there for me. She was my rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And guys, when you find a woman like that, man, don't try to make it about, you know, and we're all adults here, so let's talk like adults. Don't make it all about like sex. You know what I'm saying? Like that can't be number one. You have to build a foundation of love first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Getting to know each other, just enjoy each other. But fellas, if you have a good woman, you know, treat her with love and respect. She is a gift from Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
She is a gift from Yahweh.
Yep.
She is a gift, and you have to treat her as such.
That's right.
You know, and we have a daughter now, so for me, it's like once I walk my baby girl down the aisle and I'm giving her to, you know what I mean, her husband to be, it's like, okay, this is my baby, take care of her.
Right.
And that's Yahweh giving our good women to you, like take care of her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and we are the covering. Cover her, like I said, with love and respect. Yeah. You know? So if you have a good woman, man, take care of her.
Because she's automatically going to take care of you.
110%.
You're stepping up, you're not even going to have, she's going to be right there. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, yeah.
100%. So that's just my advice to you fellas, you know, do that. Do you have anything else?
No, thank y'all so much for joining us for this special episode talking about the women of Yahweh. Us women, just period. Like, we're incredible, and it's amazing to have men, and I know I'm very grateful to have men in my life. You know, my dad, my brother, my older brother, my husband, people in my life that support me, and, you know, just in Yahweh, it just makes you stronger knowing you have that, as Mike said earlier, that village of support around you. So whether that's one person, 5 people, 10 people, it don't matter. It's your circle, your village, and if you got that support, hallelujah, you know, and that's just a blessing. So thank y'all so much for joining us on this episode. We love you guys, and please remember to go to YahshuaUniversity.com and download our free mobile app on your cell phone. Everything we talked about, and go check out the Yahud sister page, ladies, men, all of y'all. Just go check it out. That has incredible women of Yah on there. We got blogs, we got talk shows up there. We actually have a special class on Sundays just for us women. So please come on that call on Sundays. Nothing but women, run by women. Just us speaking about what we go through. You know what I mean? Anything you want to talk about. We have a sisterhood call every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Time, on the same number that our Monday night calls are on. So that's a special class set aside just for us women. So come on there and join us for a Sunday class.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And that's it, y'all. Just always make sure to stay inspired, guys. Always stay inspired, because there's always hope, and no matter what you're going through, Yahweh is right there in the midst of you, and He will lead you through whatever it is that you're going through, whatever you perceive to be negative. You know, He has a greater purpose for you, just like He did for Joseph. Just like He did for Joseph. And again, after Jacob died, Joseph's brothers were worried that Joseph was gonna have revenge, and Joseph was like, no. Am I in the place of Elohim? What you meant for evil, Yahweh meant for good. And in that, he was able to save his whole family. So Yahweh always has a purpose. He has a plan. Okay, so let's just hold on to Him in those dark moments. And as we walk through the valley of shadow of death, we fear no evil, because He is with us.
That's right.
All right?
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh for you. We love you and we thank you. And you guys have a beautiful, incredible day. Shalom.
Shalom, guys.
Shalom.